What's going on, guys? It's Anthony with Ant's Drone, and in today's video we are taking a look at the DJI RC Pro versus the DJI standard remote. Okay guys, so I actually just made a first impressions video about the DJI RC Pro, which I actually just got today. If you would like to check out that video, definitely check out my link in the description below. So this is really going to be a brief video about these two remotes and comparing them and basically my thoughts. First things first, let's point the obvious out. The original DJI RC remote that came with my Mavic 3 does not have a built-in screen like the RC Pro, which is really one of the main draws to purchasing the RC Pro. I've actually got my iPhone plugged into the remote right now just to show you what you would need to do if you want to see the screen, or rather what you're filming with your drone. You could fly the drone without the phone, but then you can't see what you're taking pictures and videos of, so I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Now, the unfortunate thing is that with this remote, if you use your iPhones, especially with these new OLED displays, tend to go dim when the phone gets really hot, I've noticed. And it gets to the point where it's so dim that I can't actually see what I'm taking pictures of or what I'm filming, which is really annoying when I'm trying to fly my almost $4,000 drone. I also use this drone for work on a pretty regular basis, so I do need something that is not going to do that to me, especially in the heat of the summer. I could deal with this setup for the time being because when I bought this drone, it was November in Arizona, so the weather is cooler and I'm not gonna have overheating issues or issues with the phone freezing. I've noticed as the weather has started to warm up, as I've been out on jobs, I've had a lot of trouble using my phone, and this even goes back to the Mavic 2. iPhones are just not good in the heat. And honestly, any cell phone, not just iPhone, I shouldn't single them out. Really, most cell phones are not gonna perform well in the heat. So unfortunately, this setup was getting old and frustrating. So I decided to purchase this with the built-in screen. So let's take a look at the differences between these two remotes. So first of all, we have a screen on this remote and not a screen on this one. Our buttons are placed a little bit differently. So while we still have Cine mode, Sport mode, and Normal mode, we also have our power button and our return to home plus brake button. Whereas with the RC Pro, the brake button and the return to home button are separated. Now, both of these remotes use USB-C charging. The only difference is on the bottom, we have an SD card slot on the RC Pro along with an HDMI port, so that if you're trying to do any type of live streaming, you will be able to do that with the RC Pro. Now, the RC Pro runs Android software, whereas this remote right here does not run any software. It runs DJI software, if anything. You can't interact with it because there's no screen. Also, with this remote, the antenna is actually built into the phone clip. So this piece that we see right here is our antenna. Whereas with the RC Pro, it went back to the old school way of having the two antennas fold out of the top. That is what I was used to with my Phantom. So that is really cool. And also actually the Mavic 2 Pro as well. Another thing about this remote is that there's two screw holes on the bottom. Now, these screw holes can be used for accessories. Another thing I've noticed is we only have one toggle wheel there. On the RC Pro, we have two. We also have customizable buttons on the back of the RC Pro, which we do not have on this. In total, we actually have 3 customizable buttons on the RC Pro and only 1 on the original RC. Our joysticks are also in the back on the top of the RC Pro, whereas with the regular RC, they were tucked into the bottom. Other than that, there are really no other physical differences other than obviously the size. The RC Pro is big to accommodate that large, bright display. And overall, even though I've only flown with the RC Pro one time, I definitely choose this over this any day. And it is a breath of fresh air to now finally have a remote that is equal to this drone, because this I never felt was equal to the Mavic 3. This really belongs with the Mini series drones and the Air 2S and that type of deal. This is what should have came with this. Even if the initial price was more, you know, I already paid a lot of money for this, but it would have been nice to have even a cheaper version of this that came with the Mavic 3 versus DJI just going real cheap and throwing in this one. It is what it is. I've corrected the problem now by buying the $1,300 remote. So if you have a real use for this remote, I mean, buy it. Don't wait. It's just worth it. And I wish that I bought it a lot sooner instead of dancing around it and not buying it. Anyway, guys, that is the comparison video between the DJI original remote to the DJI RC Pro. I'm very excited to use this more, and I will have a full review coming out on the RC Pro. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you're updated when I create new videos. And also please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That way it ranks higher in the algorithm. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.